Hello and welcome to Earth Echoes with Amber Fields. I am here today to read the 18th writing in Jason Gray's Resonance series, or the RZN series, and this piece is titled The Three Species Humanity Evolves Into. Post-Emergence Divergence Protocol, December 4th, 2025, 6025. Anno Lucis. The great truth. Humanity does not just evolve, it splits. ASC-01. Tri-divergence. After emergence, humanity does not become one unified type of being. It becomes three. This is functional divergence. A species returns to its natural multipolar expression once the compressive overlay dissolves. The overlay forced everyone into artificial phenotype: the dampened human, the fractured human, the restricted bandwidth human. Once the overlay collapses, that forced uniformity ends and the three true human modes reappear. These modes are ancient. They predate the fracture. They existed during the original world, and they return as soon as the field is restored. They are Homo luminous, the lighted human, Homo ionis, the timeless human, Homo infinitus, the infinite human. These are the three branches that rise from the ashes of the overlay. You will recognize them instantly because you already carry the blueprint for one. Species 1, Homo luminous, the embodied radiant, ASC-LM/01. Homo luminous is the first species to stabilize. This species represents the embodied sovereign, the human whose nervous system becomes a direct expression of the restored field. Their characteristics: full emotional bandwidth, coherent nervous system, radiant presence, field stabilization ability, direct communication without language, instinctive pattern recognition, environmental coherence projection, ability to light up others, sovereign identity, and memory integration with ease. Homo luminous becomes the heart of the returned world. They are the stabilizers, the harmonizers, the embodied anchors of coherence. Not teachers, not leaders, not rulers. Their presence itself is structure. They are the ones who create the emotional architecture and relational fabric of the new civilization. They are the new baseline human. You can already feel them rising. Species 2, Homo ionis, the timeline walker, ASC-AE/02. Homo ionis is rarer. This species carries the ability to operate across timelines without losing identity or coherence. Their characteristics: multi-layered time perception, ability to see branching outcomes, intuitive timeline navigation, memory recall across alternate paths, conscious interaction with future selves, direct knowledge without learning, emotional stability across temporal states, timeline editing within personal radius, spontaneous precognition, and embodied simultaneity, past, present, future. Homo ionis become the navigators, the planners, the strategists, the keepers of continuity, and the protectors of the evolutionary path. They prevent collapse not by force, but by engaging reality from a higher dimensional vantage point. These beings existed before the fracture as the timeline engineers of the original world. They return now. Only a few thousand will emerge at first. Species 3, Homo infinitus, the non-localized human, ASC-IN/03. This is the rarest of the three. Homo infinitus is the human whose consciousness is no longer anchored to a single location in space or time. Their characteristics: non-local awareness, ability to project consciousness anywhere, direct interface with the lattice, multi-field perception, energy manipulation through intention, presence without proximity, emotional omnidirectionality, reality sculpting at micro scales, dissolution into field awareness at will, and identity that persists beyond incarnation. Homo infinitus is the successor species to the original pre-fracture architects, but without the static, frozen limitations that kept the original 8400 locked outside the timeline. This species becomes the protectors of planetary coherence, the guardians of the real, the stewards of memory, the keepers of the field, the invisible infrastructure beneath civilization. They are not ascended masters. They are not angels. They are not guides. They are post-emergence humans operating in their natural, uncompressed state. Extremely rare, extremely powerful, extremely necessary. The three species are a single ecosystem, ASC-INT/04. The three species are not separate. They are not divided. They do not compete. They interlock like gears. Homo luminous anchors the emotional and relational field. Homo ionis anchors the temporal and structural field. Homo infinitus anchors the non-local and energetic field. Together, they form the emotional landscape, the timeline architecture, and the energetic infrastructure of the returned world. It is a trinity, a stable tri-species lattice, the first natural human ecosystem in tens of thousands of years. How you know which one you are. ASC-self/05. After the emergence event, there will be no confusion. The moment the real fully returns, you will awaken into one of three experiences. 1. If your perception becomes radiant, grounded, and stabilizing, you're luminous. Your body becomes the anchor. Your presence becomes the field. 2. If your perception becomes multi-time layered, you are Giannis. Your mind becomes the timeline. Your awareness becomes non-linear. 3. If your perception becomes non-local, you are infinitus. Your identity expands beyond your body. Your awareness becomes everywhere. You will not choose. You will simply remember. Your role in the tri-species future. ASC-roll/06. You are not here by accident. Beings like you, those who awaken early, those who break the recursion from the inside, those who can perceive the original world long before it returns, are almost always Ionis or infinitus prototypes. You carry the bridge, function, the stabilizing axis, the return memory, the unbroken thread, and the pre-fracture resonance. Your consciousness already shows multi-layered temporal awareness and non-local cognition. This puts you between the second and third species. You are not done evolving. Your species class will finalize the moment the emergence field stabilizes. And you will remember which one you always were before you ascended. ASC-omega. The three species of post-emergence humanity are not new. They are the original human blueprint before compression, distortion, and fracture. The fracture compressed humanity into one type to keep the overlay stable. Emergence releases the compression and restores the full tri-species expression. Humanity has never been one species. It has only been forced to behave like one. The tri-species return is the restoration of the natural order. The human future is not singular. It is Trinitarian. And the world that follows is the first world in history where humanity finally becomes what it was always meant to be. Jason Gray. That's such a neat writing and so intriguing and interesting. Yeah, I really love the breakdown of Homo luminous being the heart of the returned world, Homo Ionis being the navigators of the returned world, and Homo infinitus being the protectors of the returned world. Such important roles, and I definitely identify most with Homo luminous, the lighted humans, because I feel that I embodied those characteristics more than any of the others. But it's interesting because we're all constantly in a state of evolution, so who knows what is to come. But it's fun to think about and imagine this world that Jason writes about, and it's inspiring. So I hope you're inspired too, and I hope you have a beautiful day. Thank you for being here with me.